Welcome to another episode of Football Scientific. This is part 2 of our Easter special. Today we're going to go through the outcomes of yesterday's IFL, UFL, and NAL games. Currently, the San Antonio Brahmas are defeating the DC Defenders in the third quarter, trying to get their first win, trying to get a huge upset. So with that in mind, we're going to make this a quick episode of Football Scientific on Easter Day. First, I am Aaron Sauter. I'm a writer for the UFL News Hub. I cover the San Antonio Brahmas and the UFL. I'm a writer for the CFL News Hub. I cover the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the CFL. I cover the Cincinnati Bengals on footballanalysis1.com. We also talk about the IFL, the Indoor Football League, the NAL, National Arena League, and the ELF, European League of Football here on Football Scientific. But today I'm going to go through some of the outcomes of the last couple days of games, because there were some pretty exciting games. And because it's an Easter special, I'll be joined by my special guest host, Eddie the Easter Bunny.
What up? I'm Eddie the Easter Bunny. Back at it. Day 2. I'm Eddie. Hop, 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 hop. Hope you got an Easter basket for me. I'm Eddie the Easter Bunny. Thanks for letting me be on the show. Thanks.
You're welcome, Eddie. Okay. All right, so first in the UFL, yesterday afternoon, the St. Louis Battlehawks traveled to the Arlington Renegades. They didn't really travel to them. The hub city is Arlington, so they just, went to the Arlington Renegades Stadium, Choctaw Stadium, okay? In that game, I expected that game to be a shootout. I predicted 28-22. I was pretty close. I did not expect St. Louis Battlehawks quarterback Manny Wilkins to go with a non-contact injury. He blew his Achilles out on the third time he dropped back the pass. Blew out something in his ankle. He's done, baby. He's done. Max Duggan came in for the Battlehawks and stunk up the joint as I predicted he would in the preseason. 8 for 17, 78 yards, 2 interceptions, a QBR of 20.8. Ouch. Okay, running back Jacob Sailors had 20 runs for 61 yards and 0 touchdowns. Wide receiver Frank Darby had 2 catches, 26 yards, 0 touchdowns. How did they score 15 points if they had 0 touchdowns? Well, they had a bunch of field goals. Rodrigo Blankenship was on top of the field goals. Nice job, Rodrigo, with his cool glasses. They also had an interception for a touchdown by linebacker Willie Harvey. That's how they got to a touchdown to get 15 points. Defensively, they had 2 quarterback sacks, 5 tackles for loss, and 1 interception and 1 forced fumble. That was not enough against the Arlington Renegades. So the Renegades, quarterback Luis Perez went 17 for 25, pretty good day. 149 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, QBR 80.3. That dwarfs the 20.8 by Max Duggan. He also had 1 run for 8 yards. Day Hunter had 8 runs for 25 yards and 1 touchdown. Tight end Sal Cannello was the leading receiver, 3 catches, 35 yards. Javante Payton had 1 catch for 2 yards for a touchdown, 2-yard touchdown. Defensively, they had 6 quarterback sacks, not counting the Manny Wilkins non-contact injury. I don't know if they counted as a sack or not. They probably did. 8 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery. They had 2 defensive touchdowns. Gene Harris closed the game out with an interception from their own red zone all the way down. They're protecting the goal line. Max Duggan throws a duck. Boom. Gene Harris takes it and closes the game out to make it 30-15. Also, they had Chris Odom returned a fumble early in the first series of the game to score a defensive touchdown, so they capped the game off with an opening defensive touchdown and an ending defensive touchdown. They also played better on offense than the Battlehawks did. Touchdowns galore for Arlington Renegades. They are 3-1. Battlehawks are 2-2. Goodbye, Battlehawks. You're too predictable. Goodbye. And Arlington won 30-15. Boom. Boop. Next, last night on Easter Eve, we had the Birmingham Stallions travel to the Houston Roughnecks. I expected this to be a blowout, and it wasn't really a blowout. The Stallions didn't play as well as I thought they would. Quarterback Matt Corral was 14 for 25, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had 10 runs for 52 yards. Running back CJ, he was the leading rusher for them. That's not good. It's not good. I thought they would run the ball a lot better against this team. Running back C.J. Marable had 11 runs for 47 yards, no touchdowns. Wide receiver Deion Kane. Deion Kane's back. 3 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown reception. Davion Davis had 2 catches for 62 yards and a touchdown. They had 1 sack, 8 tackles for loss, 1 interception. The Houston Roughnecks came out. Nolan Henderson opened the game. He was 3 for 4, 35 yards, 0 touchdown interception, but he had a QBR of 101, 1 run for 6 yards. But then they got hit, boom, knocked out of the game by Birmingham. Birmingham's defense is known for targeting quarterbacks. I'm surprised Greg Williams isn't their DC and then having the bounty gate go on. They're constantly hurting people's quarterbacks with the Birmingham Stallions. Nolan Henderson's out. Jalen McClendon, formerly the Vegas Vipers, he came in. He went pretty good day for him. He went 22 for 31, 236 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had 5 runs for 17 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. QBR 79.5. Other than Nolan Henderson going 3 for 4, that's probably the best quarterbacking they've had for an entire game. The Houston Roughnecks are. They are trending up right now. Okay. Running backs, Condre White had 11 runs for 16 yards. That's not good. They couldn't get their running game going either. He did put one in on the goal line area. Wide receiver Justin Awe, 6 catches, 58 yards, 0 touchdowns. Defensively, they had no sacks, 3 tackles for loss, 1 interception. So, what happens here? Houston Roughnecks make it tough on the Birmingham Stallions, but neither team can run the ball. So it comes down to explosive plays, and Birmingham had the explosive plays. They beat the Roughnecks 23-16. On the road, they are 3-1 in time with the Michigan Panthers at the top of the USFL Conference. Houston Roughnecks only scored 16 points. That's pretty good, though. I mean, better than I thought they did against the Stallions. And they're 1-2 now on the season, and they're still in 3rd place. Memphis is doing a good job of keeping them out of the basement. Boop. Not on purpose, most likely. Okay, so right now, like I said, San Antonio Brahmas are beating the DC Defenders 0-3 versus 3-0. We're about to go 1-3. Whoop, whoop. That's better than 0-4, like Memphis, okay? So we'll go over that game tomorrow. I'll post my power rankings for the IFL, UFL, and NAL. In the IFL, Massachusetts Pirates traveled to the Jacksonville Sharks. They had loaded up on defensive backs from currently a couple of guys that played for the Titans and the Jaguars. I didn't think that was going to give an impact because Jacksonville Sharks tend to ground and pound, but here's one note. They did not play Jimmy Robinson. Occasionally, Jimmy Robinson takes a night off, and he took a night off, and that skewed the outcome of this game. I thought for sure Jimmy Robinson would be playing this game against the Massachusetts Pirates, but after them going 3-0 with Jimmy Robinson, and they took him out for a night, thinking they were good enough to beat Massachusetts without him. That's not true, guys. That's not true. Massachusetts came out. Quarterback Kenji Bahar went 16 for 20 for 158 yards and 1 touchdown. Had 11 runs for 12 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. That's his best game of the season so far. Running back Kapuka Williams had 19 rushes, 50 yards and 2 touchdowns. 4 catches, 27 yards. He's putting up some stats, getting some touchdowns. Wide receiver Thomas Owens had 4 catches, 70 yards and a touchdown. Wide receiver Teo Redding had 5 catches, 42 yards. Defensively, they had 4.5 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 2 interceptions. The 2 interceptions is critical. That's how you beat teams in IFL. That's the impact of those new defensive backs. So I guess it did pay off for Massachusetts Pirates. I was wrong on that prediction. Jacksonville came out. Caleb Barker went 12 for 21, 161 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He ran about 610 yards. That's the critical stat. 2 interceptions. You can't be losing possessions, okay? When you're losing possession, you give a team a possession, they score on you. That's like a 14-point turnaround, okay? Jimmy Robinson did not play, but they had 2 running backs. Tyler Lynn or whatever. He went 5 runs for 43 yards and 2 touchdowns. Edward Vander, 5 runs, 38 yards. They couldn't replace Jimmy Robinson. Jimmy Robinson is truly a great player, and they don't have another one like him. So I guess that's why they rest him during the season sometimes. It's kind of janky. They did it on a home game. The home fans got to see a loss. No, I'm spoiler alert. Wide receiver Jaden Stisha or whatever. He had 4 catches, 59 yards, 2 touchdowns. Marcus Rodgers had 3 catches, 14 yards, 1 touchdown. Defensively, they had 5 tackles for loss, 1 from recovery. It was a pretty even game. Jimmy Robinson being out made a huge impact, and that allowed the Massachusetts Pirates to score a big upset on the road, 42-35 over the Jacksonville Sharks. Jacksonville's 3-1 now. Massachusetts 2-2. Last week kind of foreshadowed Jacksonville was going to have some problems. They struggled against the Tucson Sugar Skull before the Sugar Skulls loaded up this week on quarterback and stuff. So maybe that was showing some chinks in the Jacksonville Sharks armor. Maybe Jimmy Robinson was tired last week, and that's why he needed this week off. We'll find out next week, though. Bay Area Panthers, they traveled to the Fisher's Freight. I figured this would be a very close game, but here's the deal, okay? Jaya Wright didn't play this game and got injured against Massachusetts. Why he got pulled in the fourth quarter, he got injured. Keegan Shoemaker came out. So here's how it went down. Quarterback Josh Jones for Barrier Panthers went 14 for 18, 122 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 13 runs, 42 yards, 1 touchdown. That's 4 touchdowns. Pretty good day for Josh Jones, okay? Running back Joshua Tomas, 8 runs, 40 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 catches, 24 yards, 1 touchdown. Tyrese Church or whatever, Chisholm or something like that. He had 5 catches, 51 yards, 2 touchdowns. A lot of touchdowns. 6 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 5 interceptions. Boom. You're not going to win a game with throwing 5 interceptions. Bayer, you're going to win a lot of games if you intercept 5 passes. That's spoiler alert. That's the story of this one, okay? Fisher's Freight quarterback Keegan Shoemaker came out 4 for 14. 67 yards, 1 touchdown, 5 interceptions. That is horrible. They need Jaya right back right now. 16 runs, 63 yards, 4 touchdowns. He had rushing touchdowns. He ran the ball way better than he threw it. He should have quit throwing the ball. 4 for 14. 5 interceptions. That's going to lose every week if he does that. Running back, Sean Lewis, 19 rushes, 87 yards. Couldn't overcome 5 interceptions. Wide receiver, Jordan Kress, 2 catches, 59 yards, a touchdown. Couldn't overcome 5 interceptions. Defense, 1 tackle for loss, 1 interception. Couldn't overcome 5 interceptions. Bay Area Panthers beat the Fisher's Freight 57-41 because of 5 interceptions. They're 3-1 in second place in the Western Conference, and Fisher's Freight are now 2-2. 5th place in the Western Conference. Tied for 3rd or something, I don't know. Okay, boom. San Antonio Gunslingers traveled to Tulsa. Tulsa looked real janky in its 4th quarter against the Green Bay Blizzard. They could have came out and looked janky. They could have came out and looked great. It was hard as they were going to get. Well, San Antonio Gunslingers quarterback Malik Henry went 17 for 23, 132 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's pretty good stats, but not enough touchdowns. That's a precursor to what this outcome is. They had 3 runs for 10 yards and 1 touchdown. Boom. Quarterback. There was also another quarterback, Gary Myers or whatever. He came out and had 4 for 7, 46 yards. 4 runs, 36 yards, and a touchdown. Not bad, but he stuck a toe in the water. Naquan Murray, 7 catches, 59 yards, a touchdown. Khalil Rashad, 6 receptions, 61 yards, no touchdowns, 2 tackles for loss, 1 fumble recovery. He had 1 takeaway. Okay, it wasn't enough, guys. This is tell you what the outcome is. Dallas Oilers quarterback T.J. Edwards made up for last week's embarrassing finish in the 4th quarter and overtime, going 16 for 19, 147 yards and 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. 14 runs, 55 yards, 2 touchdowns, no fumbles. Wide receiver Sheldon Augustine had 7 catches for 74 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wide receiver Max Novak had 4 catches, 36 yards, 1 touchdown. Wide receiver Muhammad Rogers had 3 catches, 23 yards, 1 touchdown. The defense had 7 tackles for loss, 1 interception. That adds up to a Tulsa Oilers home win, 45-31 over the San Antonio Gunslingers. Tulsa's now 2-2. San Antonio's 1-3. Okay, and then I had a quick. I originally predicted last week Northern Arizona Wranglers was going to get their first win of the season, but then I saw Tucson Sugar Skulls make a bunch of moves at quarterback, and that made a big difference. Okay, made a big difference. They almost beat the Jacksonville Sharks last week with a trash quarterback, but now they got rid of Eamon Caldwell, and they got a much better quarterback. So they picked up quarterback Jorge Reyna, who's released by the San Antonio Gunslingers. He went 10 for 16, 109 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Ran the ball 10 runs for 32 yards for 3 touchdowns. 4 touchdown game. It's much better than Eamon Caldwell's 5 interceptions. 5 interceptions. That did not happen this week. Running back Devontae Sapp Lynch, Marshawn Lynch's son, or little brother, I don't know what he is. 10 runs, 35 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 catches, 41 yards, 1 touchdown. Their defense had a crazy game. 10 tackles for loss, 4 quarterback sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, 1 interception. Based on that, I think you know who won this game, but we'll go through it anyway. Northern Arizona Wranglers quarterback C.J. Fowler, never heard of him, 10 for 20, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception, 11 runs, 38 yards, and a touchdown, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Never heard of him, but solid game. I've seen worse. 5 interceptions by Keegan Shoemaker. He didn't do that. That's pretty good. Wide receiver Marnie Carson, 5 catches, 50 yards, and 0 touchdowns. Deshaun Stockman went 1 catch, 41 yards, and a touchdown. Blah, blah, blah. Jamal Conley, I guess. My handwriting is horrible, y'all. If I'm messing up these guys, I'm sorry. I was scratching my chest. Scratching my chest. Okay. Jamal Conley, 2 catches, 71 yards, 1 touchdown. Defense had 1 tackle for loss and 2 fumble recoveries. Tucson Sugar Skulls get the win, 44-24. They're 1-2, so they get off the schneid. They move up the ladder. They would be a playoff team today if they started the playoffs, which would be weird after 3 games. Northern Arizona Wranglers, they lost 44-24. They're 0-3 and in trouble, y'all. It looks like an expansion team. Okay, sorry, I got itchy chest. All right. Northern Arizona. National Arena League. They had a crazy day again yesterday. First, Carolina Cobras. I announced yesterday in a video they were struggling. Someone came on Twitter saying, you got to talk about business you know, not someone else's business. Carolina Cobras are stinking up the place. They've lost 3 in a row, 1 to Wheeling, 1 to the Idaho Horsemen, and now again to the Wheeling Miners. Quarterback Dominic Schaefer, another quarterback for them. I think he played last week against Idaho. He went 15 for 34, 171 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 13 runs, 30 yards, 1 touchdown. Better than last week, but their defense did nothing. Wheeling Miners, quarterback Grant Russell, 17 for 25, 183 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 4 runs, 25 yards, 2 touchdowns. Running back Fred Hargrove, 11 runs, 56 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Wide receiver Jeremiah Flores, 4 catches, 45 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Wide receiver Jarvi Flowers, 3 catches at 58 yards, 1 touchdown. They had 1 quarterback sack. Wheeling Miners come out and dominate the Carolina Cobras, 46-18. I predicted that if Wheeling won that game, Cobras may be done. They might fold. That's what they're telling me to shut up. Be quiet, man. You don't know about this business. We'll see. We'll see. They got smacked. They're 2-4. They're out of the playoff window right now. I don't know. Sioux City Bandits and Omaha Beef play a street fight of a game. It has no stats. No one kept any stats. I tried to look them up, and it says there was a blocked website. That's a bad sign for their stats. But that game was a shootout all the way down. 3, 10, 17. Omaha Beef. They come out, they run the ball, they pass the ball, they play defense. Sioux City Bandits run the ball, pass the ball, they play defense. They both get turnovers, they both kick field goals. It's a crazy game. They get a big fight in the 4th quarter. Crazy game. Crazy game to Omaha Beef pull out. Okay, 24-17. This felt like a championship game like last year. This felt like a definite rematch. Omaha Beef, though, boy, 2 straight losses. They win 24-17 at home to defend their home field against the Sioux City Bandits. That puts Omaha Beef at 4-1, firmly in first place in the National Conference. That puts the Sioux City Bandits at 2-2, and they're sitting there trying to figure out where they're going to go, man. That atmosphere was awesome in Omaha. Fun game to watch. Okay, and I could watch it on YouTube. Whoa, I watched it. A+. Okay, then Idaho Horsemen at Colorado Spartans. I thought this was going to be a shootout. I did think Colorado was going to win because they run the ball better. Idaho is a spread passing team. I figured they were going to have to throw some interceptions and make some mistakes. Was I wrong? Okay, so I'm not going to tell you what I meant, but I was wrong. Instead, Spartans quarterback Khalil Trotman, 7 for 14, 91 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not the best day passing, but the best I've seen him do. 3 runs, 8 yards. Running back Jarrell Day or whatever, he had 1 catch, 20 yards, and a touchdown. 1 run for 8 yards. Not a lot of running game. They broke the trend. Not a lot of running game in this game. Wide receiver Bazette Woodley, 2 catches, 39 yards, 1 touchdown. Stephen Newberg Jr., 1 catch, 28 yards, 1 touchdown. Defense, 4 sacks, 6 interceptions. Asias Gandy had 2 touchdowns. on interceptions. 2 interceptions for touchdowns. That tells you the name of this game, okay? Idaho Horsemen, here's a stat of the day. Idaho Horsemen threw 6 interceptions. 6 interceptions and had no running game and had no official stats. All I know is they threw 6 interceptions. Colorado Spartans win this game 49-0. I think I had this game like 36-34 Colorado Spartans. I didn't know Idaho wasn't going to show up. Okay, Colorado Spartans 49-0. Instead of being a big game, giving Idaho a chance to climb up the West Division standings, Colorado Spartans smack them down. Boop! Boop! And win 49-0. Let them know, hey y'all, you're not a playoff team. We may not be either, but we're 3-2. We would be a playoff team right now because we're in front of the Sioux City Bandits. Let's go, Colorado Spartans. Make it a race to the Omaha Beach. You're 1 game behind the beat. Okay. Those are the game reviews. NFL, Pittsburgh Steelers. It looks like if they're probably going to draft Jackson Dart in the first round. That's what it's looking like. Okay. So right now, everyone's thinking Jackson Dart because they don't think Shadur Sanders is going to be there at pick 21, like they said. Okay, they're going to pick a quarterback. They're giving up on Aaron Rodgers, it looks like. Aaron Rodgers is like, I could take or leave it. Well, they don't want you then. New Orleans Saints, not likely to draft a quarterback in the top 10, even though, okay, so they said they like Shadur Sanders. Shadur Sanders said he likes them. Deion Sanders says he likes the New Orleans Saints. Everyone likes everyone. But then now the Saints, a few days before the draft, they say, we don't even want to draft a quarterback with our top 10 pick. Oh, we could trade up and pick a quarterback. We don't want to pick him with our number 9 pick. We could trade up, or we could trade all the way down to the second round. We could pick a quarterback in the second round instead. So I think they're putting some smoke screens out there and trying to confuse people. They confuse me. If edge rusher Abdul Carter is available at pick 4, the Raiders are going to, the Patriots are going to take it. They've already said that. If Abdul Carter is available at pick 4, he might be. I think the Giants will take him. They shouldn't. They should pick a defensive back, Will Johnson, or Will Campbell. I don't know. I think Will Johnson's the lineman. Will Campbell. Okay, but if they don't pick him, Patriots said they're picking Abdul Carter. I predict they'll pick an offensive tackle. This says they may trade up to pick up Abdul Carter or a receiver. Okay, so here's what you want to know. If Edge Abdul Carter is pick number 4, okay, then they could trade him potentially. This is why they're going to pick Abdul Carter. They don't like Abdul Carter. No one does. He's overrated. Only speed moves. Next, Micah Parsons. Yeah, he hasn't won any Super Bowls. He can't get a second contract. Abdul Carter, overblown. Okay, but with the Eagles, he would be dangerous. That's a cheat code right there. If Abdul Carter is available at pick 4, the Patriots will pick him, and then they'll engineer a trade for wide receiver A.J. Brown to the Patriots, giving Abdul Carter to the Eagles, helping Abdul Carter win a Super Bowl and not be a bust. And then A.J. Brown can go to the Patriots and be a bust. Okay, he won a Super Bowl already though. Arizona Cardinals, they signed wide receiver Greg Dortch after a month of waiting for him to sign the contract, but it sounds like they could draft wide receiver Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State so he can join them with Marvin Harrison Jr. They can have a loaded wide receiver group for Kyler Perry or whatever. Kyler Perry, is that his name? I don't remember. Whatever his name is. Kyler something. Cleveland Browns, they're expected to try and make some moves. They want to go full Kevin Costner draft day mode, like the movie, and they want to get Travis Hunter with the 3rd pick and Shadur Sanders with a different pick in the 1st round. They want to make moves. They want to live that Kevin Costner life for real. Notice, Kevin Costner never won a Super Bowl with the Browns. No one did. No one's won a Super Bowl with the Browns. Okay, San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy. He has not get his contract finalized yet, but he's putting some facts out there. He has told the team, whatever that matters, they aren't even getting my contract he wants. But he's saying, you got to draft Jaden Higgins in the 1st round. That dude's a big-time playmaker, per Brock Purdy, who's an average quarterback at best. That's your NFL news. Okay, and then in the European League of Football, the Paris Musketeers last year, they had a huge year. Zach Edwards was Offensive Player of the Year for the Elf League. He came from the Barcelona Dragons. He's known to be a very good regular season quarterback and a very poor playoff quarterback. Paris Musketeers have added head coach Jack Del Rio. Zach Edwards is going to stay in the U.S. He doesn't want to play football this year because he's lost too many playoff games. Yikes. So he doesn't want to go back to Europe to lose more playoff games. Quarterback Jalen Hendon, who played in the German Football League, is taking his job. Last year in the German Football League, which is the best European Football League other than the ELF. 15 games, 5,202 yards, 91 touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns in 15 games. 5,202 yards, 91 touchdowns in one season. If he does that, Paris Musketeers will win the league. That's incredible. Okay. They still have wide receiver Austin Harris. He's expected to be a top playmaker. They got a penalty against Jaku So and Hugo Tekaham or whatever. Anthony Mahonagou is gone. Remy Bertolini is gone. No offense. Lamont McDougall is their defensive tackle. He's a monster run stopper. He's adding to their strong defensive line. They are a strong defense. Okay. The one thing holding back the Paris Musketeers, they're playing probably the toughest schedule in the ELF. They're playing the Rhine Fire, back-to-back league champions, although a lot of players went to the Nordic Storm. They're playing the Stuttgart Surge, who seem to be built to win an ELF championship finally after having 2 great years, after having 3 horrible years. Vienna Vikings, who are planning on making a championship run again, like they did a few years ago. They were in the championship game last year and lost to the Rhine Fire. The Frankfurt Galaxy were trying to recover their once great empire. Paris has to play all those teams. That's probably the hardest schedule in the league. Okay, here's what I say: they have a chance to be very good if they can stay healthy. They don't have a second quarterback behind this dude Jaden Hendon, man. And if he gets hurt, I think it's going to be over, Rover. I think that's the key thing. They got to keep that quarterback healthy. If he stays healthy, they have a chance to go back to the playoffs, make a deep run, and maybe win a championship. If he gets hurt, they got nothing. All or nothing for Paris Musketeers. They got cool uniforms though. All right, so that's the news for today on the Easter edition 2.0 of the Football Scientific. Happy Easter! Happy Easter, everyone out there. Hope you got your Easter basket. Remember, it's not about that. It's not about that. It's about our Lord and Savior. But a few things. Check out CFL News Hub for some CFL articles, UFL News Hub for some UFL articles. I told the Brahmas how to win this game today, and they're doing it. I'm taking full credit for that. With my preview article about what they should do to win the game, even though I picked against them. I'm a logical person. I picked against them. I thought they were going to stink the place up. Instead, they used my game plan. What? Nice job, Brahmas. Okay, footballanalysis1.com. I got a bunch of articles coming out this week about the draft. The draft starts Thursday night. I got a bunch of articles coming out about the Bengals. If you like the video, like it. Sorry, I scratched my chest in the video. I apologize. And then also subscribe to the channel Football Scientific. I'll do a better job tomorrow. Sorry for this Easter debacle. It was an Easter debacle. Oh no, Eddie. It was a debacle. A debacle. A debacle. Yes, a debacle. Okay. Well, I hope we get some likes. Okay. All right. Have a great night. Football Scientific portal is closed. Go, Brahmas. Let's go. Let's go, Brahmas. Let's go, Brahmas. Whoop, 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 whoop. Beat the defenders.